Live, local, now. This is WIS News 10.
Right now at 5, people cleaning up after deadly and destructive weather swept across the South.
Just kind of not believing what's going on and just shocked at the damage that we've got and how lucky we are.
Here in the Midlands, our First Alert weather team alerted you to watches and warnings for the storm that brought down trees and power lines.
I was at the house watching WIS and heard the news about the storm.
Now, thousands from Alabama to South Carolina cleaning up in the aftermath.
Y'all, we will overcome this loss. We've done it before. We'll do it again.
And today, WIS is on the ground looking at the aftermath of that severe weather outbreak here in the Midlands.
Our live team coverage begins with Chief Meteorologist Demenis Brown in Lexington County. Chief, I know you've been out on those surveys looking at this damage firsthand with those teams from the National Weather Service. Tell us what you guys have seen.
Well, Judy, if you remember, Greg, Adeline, and I, we were on air live alerting folks to the tornadoes that were rolling through the Midlands yesterday. And this is one of those areas here in Lexington County off of Glassmaster Road at John's RV. Check out the damage from this RV that was picked up by the wind from an EF1 tornado. Winds up to about 110 miles an hour. This RV was picked up by that tornado and then rolled across this field here. Now, some of the damage has been pretty much transported back to this area here. But this is just one of the scenes that we saw here at John's RV. We have some video that we can show you because we were with the National Weather Service office survey team surveying some of that damage today. And we can tell you that the meteorologists there were looking at every track that this storm could have potentially taken as it moved through this area here. And we were looking at also the path of some of the RVs. Were they all in one line? And that would mainly indicate straight line winds. Were they moved over in different directions? That would indicate a tornado. And we, in fact, did see some of the RVs in this area here that were in different directions, indicating some circulation with some of the winds. And so they look at it, and they also look at an iPad that allows them to look at different things in order to really classify that tornado as they assess some of the damage. So back here at John's RV, again, this is one of the hotbeds, if you will, of some of that tornado damage from that EF1 that struck this particular area. There was also another EF1 tornado south of here that struck Lexington County. What we can say, though, as we were tracking the storm live on television last night, no one was hurt from this particular storm, just a lot of damage that some of the folks here are trying to sift through. Reporting live here in Lexington County, Chief Meteorologist Demenis Brown, WIS News 10.
All right, Chief, thank you very much. Now, take a look at this map. First Alert meteorologist Vaughn Gaskin put this map, constructed it earlier today. It shows every location, the locations in the Midlands, rather, where the National Weather Service has confirmed that a tornado touched down. But as we mentioned, those teams still out conducting surveys. Now, one of those locations you just saw on the map over in Lexington County. This is a look at some of the damage from that area. The Weather Service confirming today that 2 separate tornadoes hit that area. Our Miranda Parnell continues our live team coverage from Muddy Springs Road. And Miranda, I saw some Twitter activity from folks who live in that area last night. Very scary there as that storm moved through.
Absolutely frightening, Judy. You know, I spoke to the woman who lives out here on Muddy Springs Road, and she tells me that she has clear evidence that tornado touchdown in her front and backyard. The crazy part is that it seemed to have skipped right over her home. She says that was only because of guardian angels looking out for her. Now, Miss Elaine Doby tells me she's already gotten on the phone. She's already got cleanup crews out here trying to take care of the damage. And she says that yesterday she was just sitting on the phone talking when she got an alert saying that there was a tornado in her area. And within just a few seconds, she tells me she could hear it coming. And she just sat right there in the living room with her dog, Holly, by her side.
Well, I was just sitting on the phone and all at once the alert come on there, tornado in your area, and then then the lights went out and everything started happening, and noise.
And Miss Elaine tells me she did hear that infamous freight train sound as that tornado passed right over her home. And she says, judging by the damage in her yard, again, it's only by the grace of God that her home wasn't damaged and that she and Holly were okay. And later tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll hear more from Elaine. And I'll let you take a look at the footage that I found down the road of some of her neighbors who also suffered some damage. In Lexington County, Miranda Parnell, WIS News 10.
All right, Miranda, thank you for that update. Sky I-10 caught this major mess in Richland County. An EF1 tornado touched down just north of Riverbank Zoo with winds of 95 miles an hour. Caroline Hecker, live in that area, saw some of the worst damage. And Caroline, what has cleanup looked like for these families there?
Well, Greg, where we are standing is virtually unrecognizable because just a couple of hours ago, there were 3 cars in this parking lot and the brush was about this high. But with a little bit of teamwork and some elbow grease, they've been able to clear this space. You can see some of what was left over from one of the car windshields. Some of the debris has been pushed to the sides. There are lots of tall pine trees in this area, and those are the culprit in this particular home here off of Stone Ridge Road. We want to take you inside the house because they just finished clearing the tree that fell from the backyard to the front yard. But if you look here at the cement foundation on the porch, the resident who lives here tells us this was never like this. The impact, the force of this tree falling from the backyard to the front yard and through the front of the house created this. Now, if we step inside, most of the tree, as it relates to here in the living room, has been removed from the house. But look, I mean, you can look up. There's more tree. Everything is wet. There is debris everywhere. The windows were knocked out. We're told this happened a little bit before 7. There was a man here in the home when this happened. He was over to my left in a bathroom and he was trying to run to the front door when this tree came crashing through right here. He got trapped right about where I'm standing, had to back up a little bit, was unharmed, and had to wait for a neighbor to come help him squeeze out the front where the tree had broken through the front wall. So incredible damage. This is what's left of the kitchen. The 2 men that live here have been out here all day working to clear some of the debris as well as getting what's salvageable out of their bedrooms, which was pretty much unharmed. A lot of things are wet, obviously, because there was a giant hole in the roof all night. But still, they tell me all of these things are materialistic. And we also spoke with a gentleman who lives right across the street, and he says last night he could not believe what he was hearing.
Yeah, I was drinking my Kool-Aid and I had put the cup down on the table, and the cup, the Kool-Aid just started moving and stuff. I didn't know what it was at first, but then we heard boom, and I think that was the trees. House started shaking, and just everybody just got in the fetal position.
Now, Darren, who lives across the street you just heard from, didn't have too much structural damage to his home, but he did have a shed in the backyard that completely flipped onto its roof, as well as a big tree in his backyard that slammed into a neighbor's fence and went into her backyard. But here back across the street, again, the silver lining of all of this is no one was injured, and I'm told by the 2 men that live here that while they did lose a lot of those material items, that all of those things can be replaced. They're just happy to be safe and to be healthy and are working to find out what their next step is. And coming up at 6, you'll hear much more from them, including the gentleman who was here at home when this incredible force took place. Live in Columbia, Caroline Hecker, WIS News 10.
All right, Caroline and Chief Meteorologist Dennis Brown will be checking back in with both of them throughout the evening. Now, many of you at home sent us pictures right after those storms rolled through. These are just some of the pictures that we've received. You can see a tree literally inside of a home over in the Red Bank area. Similar scenes in other parts of Lexington and Richland counties. You know, when these storms blow through, we always ask you to keep safety in mind first. And when it's safe, to send us these photos to let us know how you're doing in areas all across the Midlands. Remember, you can check out that full slideshow of all of the damage pictures right now on WISTV.com.
Devastating tornadoes killed more than 20 people in Alabama. Yesterday's twister blamed for at least 23 deaths in Lee County, a number which still could rise, making it the deadliest in the country since a tornado hit Moore, Oklahoma. That was an EF5 tornado back in 2013. At least 3 children are among those dead. The coroner reporting in some cases nearly entire families are gone. The estimated wind speed of yesterday's tornado, 170 miles per hour. Now rescue operations are underway to locate the missing people.
We've employed the use of canine detection units that are in the area from different areas of the state and neighboring states. We're, of course, have ground search in progress as well. We have used unmanned aircraft drones that have infrared capability to detect heat signatures. We're basically using everything we can get our hands on.
In Georgia, more widespread damage. Georgia's governor declared a state of emergency in 3 counties hit hardest by those powerful storms. We'll have more on that at 5:30. Well, now we're battling winter temperatures once again, definitely cooling off.
I know, hard to believe, but it will get colder in the Midlands throughout the week. If you stepped outside today, you're already feeling it. Meteorologist Vaughn Gaskin tracking that in our first alert forecast right now.
That's right. Cold and cloudy was pretty much the name of the game today. You can still see the clouds just hanging on, but they're slowly starting to shift down to the south. As we look at where the numbers are, it's only 50 degrees in Camden, 50 in Lancaster and Chesterfield, with 50 in Newberry and Saluda, and 48 right now in Aiken, which is about 16 degrees colder than it was yesterday at this time. You're coming in 20 degrees colder in Columbia and in St. Matthews right now. For the evening, the clearing will be slow, but it will eventually happen, and those temperatures will drop. We're talking 37 for your overnight low. As we head into the day tomorrow, we will see a couple of early morning showers for those of you who get up very early before the early morning commute. We're talking about 3 to 4 a.m., about a 20% chance of a shower for you, and then clouds and sun for your afternoon, and daytime highs again settling right at about 54 degrees for your daytime high. Of course, we have a lot more to talk about because there are some major changes coming your way for this week during your forecast. We'll take a closer look at that in just a few.
Breaking news just into WIS. The winner who took months to claim the $1.5 billion jackpot from an October Mega Millions drawing has finally come forward and submitted a claim for that prize. The winner has chosen the cash option of a one-time payment that equals more than $877 million. Just as a reminder, this is the largest jackpot payout to a single winner in United States history. The winner will remain nameless, so we know it's been claimed, but we have no idea who the big winner is. They're deciding to stay anonymous. The winner told lottery officials they actually allowed someone else to go ahead of them in line that day for the lottery ticket purchase, and they believe that one simple act of kindness paid off in a big way.